Jane, we need to talk.
What's wrong, Mom?
About your high school.
You said you want to go to the private school in the other city even though it's far? Yeah, I did. I really want to go to that school. I know it's a bit far, but it's such a great school. They have an amazing cheerleading team and I want to be a part of it. Their uniform is so cute too.
All right, Jane. Then let's go check out the school next week and ask about the enrollment.
Really, Mom? But you said I can't go to that school because I'll have to wake up real early. And you don't want to have to wake me up every morning. I thought you weren't going to ever let me go there. What changed your mind, Mom?
You won't have to wake up too early if we live close to the school. It won't be a problem anymore. I won't have to wake you up and you can walk yourself to school. So getting to class on time will be your responsibility.
Just you and I? I mean, I'd be happy to be living close to the school, but what about Dad? Isn't he moving with us?
No, Jane. Your dad and I are thinking of getting divorced. We're thinking we should get divorced by the time you graduate from your current. After that, we can move to the area close to your high school. Just you and I, Jane. Do you think it's a good idea?
Why are you getting divorced, Mom? What's the reason?
It's just that your dad and I had a big fight. We can't stay together anymore. We've had many fights before, but this one is just a bit too much. So divorce is the only solution we could come up with.
Mom, could it be that the real reason you're getting divorced is because Dad cheated on you?
How did you know that, Jane?
Yeah, I saw him holding hands with a young woman not long ago.
I'm sorry you had to see something like that. It must have been shocking to see him with a woman. But this makes it easier to talk to you since you know the truth already. Your dad betrayed us by being with that other woman. You and I don't seem to matter as much to him anymore. That's why I thought it'd be a good idea for us to move to a different city away from here. Just you and I together.
I'm not going with you. I'd rather stay here with Dad. So if you still want to move to a different city, you can go ahead, but do that on your own. I'm not coming along. Don't bring me into your mess.
Jane, what are you talking about?
Are you saying that you prefer to stay with Dad even though he betrayed us?
That's what I'm saying. It's not something unusual. I see celebrities cheating on each other all the time. It's not a big deal. He might be cheating on you, but he's still a good dad. He makes good money and buys me anything I need. Sure, but that's not all, is it? He barely spends time with us anymore. Well, if he wasn't making enough money, that would be a problem. But he works hard and makes lots of money, and that's good enough for me. I don't care if he doesn't spend a lot of time with me. Dad makes a lot more money than you. So there's no way I'm choosing to be with you.
Are you saying that you're choosing which parent to go with just by their amount of income?
Is that what you're really saying?
I'm just 15 now. I needs to be financially supported by an adult. Am I saying something wrong?
Well, then you should be picking me.
What? Are you kidding?
Jane, work is different. You should know one thing.
I don't have to know nothing, Mom. Because I already know that you only make little money comparing to Dad. I don't want to have to hear any excuses or lies from you. Just leave us alone and go live on your own. You're pretty much a housewife with no money.
A housewife with no money? Is that how you see me?
Sorry, Mom, but Dad told me everything. He told me that you two are thinking of getting divorced. And when you do, he told me not to go with you because I'll end up having to live dirt poor. I don't want to be poor.
Did he really say that to you? I can't believe it.
No matter what you say, I'm going to live with Dad. You can go ahead and move to a different city anytime you want. You don't have to wait for my graduation. Mom. I heard from Dad that you're getting kicked out by him. Apparently, he told you to get out of the house, is that true?
Yes, he did. That's what he told me. That's why I started to pack my stuff and getting ready to leave.
You seem really calm, Mom. I thought you'd be sobbing and whining about having to leave.
Jane, I'm going to ask you one last time. Are you sure you're going to stay with Dad? You really don't want to come along with me?
Stop being so annoying, Mom. I already told you like a million times that I'm choosing Dad. Stop asking me that question.
Do you understand that he just goes off and puts his needs before his family's? He cheated on me, Jane. That's not what a decent adult does when they're married. You're old enough to understand the difference, right? I just want you to rethink. This is a very important decision before you regret it. Also, remember how your dad was never really there for you at any of the important life events.
Yeah, but he always tried to make it up by buying me stuff. It's not all that bad. So Mom, stop making it sound like he's a terrible person. Plus, what matters to me more is who has enough money to keep me happy.
If that's what matters to you the most, then you should be coming along with me.
What? Your right minimum wage job. There's no way you make enough money to keep me happy.
It's not like what you think, Jane.
Okay, Mom. Go start with your excuses again. I don't want to hear any of it. You should be more worried about yourself, Mom.
Why should I be worried about myself?
Because you should just let Dad be with whoever he wants, but stay married to him. Are you sure you're going to be financially okay if you divorce him?
Why would I do that? There's no way I'm accepting your dad and his infidelity. How could you even say that to me?
Well, I'm just worried about your financial situation after you get divorced. You're going to be poor without him. Stop being so stuck up and just realize that you need to have to live a good life. You should be begging him not to get divorced.
Excuse me? Do you realize what you're saying?
Let me ask you one last time. Are you going to be okay without Dad?
Don't worry about me, I'll be fine because I make $200,000 a year.
What are you joking?
Thanks for worrying so much about me. I was worried you didn't care about me anymore. I'm glad to know you still care about me. All these years I raised you was not in vain.
Mom, what are you saying? Did you just make a typo or something? You mean 20,000 a year? There's no way you make 200,000. Dad said you don't even make 20,000 a year. You only make half of that.
Dad told you that? Really?
Yeah, he told me you only make 10,000 a year. He said you only make minimum wage and that's why your income is so little. But unlike you, Dad makes 100,000 a year only by working 4 days a week. That's why he said that I'd be much better off with him than you.
Okay, first thing you should know is that someone who can cheat on others is also a person who can easily lie to others. Don't believe anything your dad says. Your dad's making 100,000 a year by working just 4 days a week? Don't make me laugh, Jane. He doesn't even have a job. It's all a lie.
What? What do you mean he doesn't have a job? You mean he's unemployed now? That's crazy.
You seem to have believed everything your dad says, Jane. But the truth is that he's not working at all. He stopped working 3 years ago when he quit his job. I worked hard because your dad won't work. And I ended up making $200,000 a year. I'm the one who feeds you and your dad not just by cooking. I'm the one who makes the money that takes care of everything in this family. And of course including the things your dad bought you.
How do I know you're telling the truth? Maybe Dad is telling the truth and you're lying to just win me over.
If you don't believe me, why don't you go ask your dad?
But he already told me the truth and you're lying. I'm 100% sure there's no way he quit his job. Dad's been gone every day from early morning until late at night. He was just in formal clothes whenever we left the house.
That's just how he dresses. So that nobody thinks he's an unemployed. But the truth is he's been going to Grandma's house every day.
What? Why he visits the grandma?
He was visiting Grandma every day to take care of her. You've been so busy with school activities and hanging out with friends that you haven't visited Grandma for so long. But I guess Dad hasn't told you that Grandma is not doing so well. Her illness is getting so bad that she can't take care of herself anymore.
What? I didn't know about that. Why didn't Dad tell me? But Mom, Dad's not being lazy and doing nothing all day. He's actually taking care of Grandma. He didn't tell you because he didn't want you to know he's unemployed. But that's good that he's taking care of Grandma. He shouldn't be ashamed of it. It's not an easy thing to do. I'm proud of him.
That's what I thought of him too at first.
Oh, what do you mean? Aren't you proud of him?
I was proud of him for the first year he was actually taking care of her all by himself. But he put her into the nursing home 2 years ago and kept lying to me that he was still taking care of her. He was actually doing nothing for these past couple of years. He lied to me so that I wouldn't be asking him to get a job again. So he kept using Grandma as an excuse to not looking for a job.
Then what is he doing now? Does he still go to Grandma's house?
Yes, he just goes there and watches YouTube and plays video games all day long. He eats takeout pizza every day. He's living the life of a teenager's dream. And in the end, he got so bored that he started seeing other women.
What? I can't believe it. He's been using the money you worked hard to get to order pizza and go on dates with other women?
Yes, but you still want to be with Dad, right? I'll leave the house to you too. I hope you have fun living with your dad and your new mom.
Mom! Please text me back right now.
What's that? You seem to be in a hurry. Is something wrong? Just tell me.
Please don't leave without me. I'm coming along with you. I decided to stay with you, Mom. I'll end up being poor if I stay with Dad. I don't want. I'm sorry I misunderstood you, Mom. So please take me with you.
I thought you wanted to stay with Dad.
I heard from Dad that you got a lawyer and you're going to take everything. He said he's going to have nothing left.
Yes, I'm going to get him to pay for what he did. In the divorce settlements, it'll be taken into consideration how much he leached off me. I'm not a petty person, but I have no compassion left for that man. My lawyers will make sure I get everything. His parents also helped him keep his affair and about Grandma being in a nursing home a secret. So I'm cutting off the money I've been sending monthly. Of course, being divorced, I would have no reason to send it anyway. But they didn't know your father is unemployed.
Because of that, everyone is fighting with each other here. They're screaming and yelling right and left. Plus, everyone is saying that they don't want anything to do with Dad anymore.
I'm sorry you're having to go through that.
Dad didn't think you'd end up having to pay you so much money. He doesn't have a job and is not capable of paying a lot of money. He has to pay nothing or something like $5,000.
He really thought I was going to take it easy? Even if he can't pay now, he'll have to find a way to pay for all of it. I'm putting in a lot of money to sue him. I'm not losing this case to him.
Not only did he think he had to pay you very little, he was planning on having us live at Grandpa's house. Then they wouldn't have to pay for rent and Dad's girlfriend has a job that pays pretty well.
So he was thinking of relying on her financially. Wow, he was going to stay jobless even after he got divorced. He really doesn't want to work.
His girlfriend didn't know that we were all going to live together at Grandpa's place. When she found out that Dad was intending on getting her to financially support us, she got furious and left. Now we can't get a hold of her. She won't answer any of Dad's phone calls or reply to his messages.
I'd be furious too if I were her. That man needs to get his priorities straight or he's going to lose everything.
After that, Dad went to Grandpa to ask him to lend some money. Then Grandpa got angry, saying that it's all Dad's fault that Grandpa is losing his monthly allowance. So Dad that he's no longer his son and kicked us out of the house.
I guess nobody thought that telling lies to me would end up like this. They were all taking me for granted, and now seeing what's happening to them, I'm not going to let anybody mess with me anymore.
I don't want to end up being alone with my unemployed dad. He's telling me to drop out of school and get a job as soon as possible.
There's no way he'd be able to pay for that private school. Can't believe that he's trying to get his daughter to work so that he doesn't have to work. How low can he think?
I don't want to stay with him anymore, Mom. Let me be with you.
Jane, I don't want to take you anymore after all. Don't you forget things you've said to me? I feel like all those years I raised you was lost in vain. I felt like not only your dad abandoned me, but my own daughter did too.
Please don't say that, Mom. I only misunderstood. I'm sorry.
You only changed your mind because you finally realized that I have money and your dad doesn't even know. That's what I tried to tell you before so you could make the right decision. But you wouldn't believe me. Now you take your consequences for your decision. I'm not going to help you out. I think I spoiled you too much that you became like this. You need to learn the hard way so you can grow up to be a proper adult.
If you're not going to take me back, then we have an idea too. We're going to get you to pay us $5,000 every month for child support. Dad told me that you're going to have to pay that much.
Sure, but your dad and everyone else can't pay me the amount they're supposed to pay me. So I'll just subduct it from the child support money that I'm supposed to give to your dad. Which you know, it'll leave you with nothing for a while.
How? I don't get it. That means we won't get any child support money forever.
Yes, you should know that.
Wait. You're really not going to help me?
Sorry, Jane, but I can't do anything else. You need to learn a lesson after all. The court decided that the money my ex-husband is supposed to pay to Jane will be deducted from the child support. He continues to remain unemployed, so Jane had to get a part-time job while she attended her local high school. But she dropped out soon after that. She became rebellious and often got into trouble with the police. My ex-husband is about to find another girlfriend who makes a lot of money so that he can leech off of her. But of course his refusal to work or do anything around the house soon caused constant fights. Both of them should learn a hard lesson. I totally have no responsibility for them. That's what they get.